Okay. So can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So minute, let me turn on my camera as well. All right. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. Today, we are looking at getting to the next level in your career. And I want to thank everyone for joining in today, and as many that joined in the last session. I do hope that it was an amazing time talking about the essence of collaboration. And if you think about it, collaboration is something that's going to be key in getting to the next level in your career. So let's see, maybe some of the things that were shared in the last session would have to look at them again, even in this session. So I have a sub theme. I caption it knowing the right trajectory for your journey. So while it's important that we all want to get to the next levels in our career, it may not be the same process for everyone. It may not even be the same process for different industries, and it may not be the same process for different career paths. So maybe the process for you that is a graphic designer may not be the same process for you that is a software engineer. So, but we would find out. That's why we are here, aren't we? All right, so I want the call to be as buzzing as possible. So I want the comment section to actually be very active. You heard something that makes so much sense to you, you tell us on the comment section. You have questions. When the time comes, we're going to review all the questions anyways, but then just let us know how you are feeling per time on the session. And if at any point in time I seem to be talking too fast, please call my attention to it and we would, go over it because we're all here to learn. All right. So who's super excited to, get to know how they can get to the next level in their career? Tell us in the chat box. So let's be sure that everyone here is desirous of that knowledge or we're not wasting our time. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So the very first thing we'll look at here is the shifting landscape. I think it's important to understand what the times are for the career as a whole before we now start thinking of, okay, what are the steps we are going to take. So in today's dynamic world, right, career growth isn't linear. So it's not like it's not a straight line process. It's not you do this, you do this, you do this, you get here. Sometimes you skip steps. Sometimes you have to go through all the steps. For some, it may be like an elevator ride. For some, it may actually be stairs, right? For some, they may have to carry you, but we'll find out, right? So it demands adaptability. What that means is that how you thought may have been the process to scale to the next level may not be how it is now, right? If the process was 1 plus 1 equals to 2 last year, it could be 1 plus 1 equals to 3 this year. So it demands a sense of adaptability that you want to shift in your career. You have to first tell yourself, I have to be adaptable, right? It demands foresight. What's foresight? The ability to look beyond. Right. So there's a word called prudence. It basically is referred to for people that look at the now, they look at what is to come, and then they start planning from now. Some may have to read some books, some may have to get some degrees. So prudence, foresight, they kind of have a similarity. But foresight basically means you're looking at the curve for your industry, right? What has changed in the last 5 years, and what can you say will change in the next 5, 10 years to come? So you project. And more importantly, it demands a proactive approach. As many people that may want to hear, oh, do this thing, take this step, move from here to here, do this. It may not be what you would have to find out eventually. For some of you, you may have to decide on the job, you may have to decide on the way, right? What is the right way to go? So imagine being in the center of a very big decision. You have to make it there. You may not have the ability to call a mentor, you may not have the ability to call a friend. Some things will demand that you make an immediate decision. So whether you're a creative freelancer or an ambitious early career professional, or you're a seasoned CEO guiding your team, the rules of engagement are constantly evolving. So have that at the back of your mind and have that at the front, right, of your goals. That the rules of engagement are constantly evolving. So what it was, maybe you have someone that's been in your career path before, what they told you is valid, but not enough. You may need to gain more. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about here, while I've looked at the landscape, is to build your unshakable foundation. Right. So every house that we see, every structure that we see has what we call a foundation. And if you do your research, you find out that sometimes the foundations are even go deeper in feet than even the structure that is in it. I feel like all foundations have to go deeper, right? So you have your surface, your standing, they have to dig deep, deep, deep before they erect the structure. So before you climb, you must know your ground, right? I'm sure as many of us that may have had an understanding of real estate or are into real estate, we would see that before you buy a property, they'll probably ask you, what do you want to use the land for, right? Do you want to farm on it? Are you going to erect the structure? Or are you just buying it for land bank? You're just investing and then you sell it, right? So you must know your ground before you climb. You must know your ground before you invest your time. So understanding your unique strengths, right? What we will look at. So I'll be using people on the call from time to time, right? Understanding your strength. If we look at I believe this is Christabel. If we look at Christabel, what can we tell are Christabel's strengths, right? What can we tell are her values? What can we tell are the passions? So it's not about just self-help. It's not about you just trying to make yourself better at a particular thing, right? But it has to be unique. Everybody goes to school these days. There was a time where um you know primary school living certificate, that's like a primary six result, was a big deal because many people were not going to school. Now then it came a time where you needed to have gone to secondary school, right? So your WAEC was important and your jam, that was like the biggest deal. Then came a time where BSCs were the order of the day. So if you didn't go to school, some would have HNDs and ONDs. They were even those times before even the BSc times, right? But now there are times where you have to have an MSc. But I guarantee you a time is coming where your degree from school, if we're not already even there, they're going to be irrelevant. It's basically, yes, you have an MSc. What else you have? Yes, you have a BSc. What else you have? So you need to understand your unique strengths, your unique values, your passions, right? So it's strategic career planning. You have to have that at the back of your mind that it's strategic. It's not only deliberate, it's not only intentional. For it to make a mark that will stand the test of time, it has to be strategic. Now, so the very first thing is self-awareness. People often say you don't know what you have until you lose it. I rather say you don't know what you have until you check it, right? You won't know you have a cloth that you have not worn before if you don't open your wardrobe. So identify your core competencies and what truly drives you, right? Why are you in that industry? Why do you want to start that business? What drives you? Is it money? There's nothing wrong in money driving you, but you really need to know. So you will now know what you're going to be building on your strengths, and what you need to take yourself out of that are weaknesses, right? Vision clarity. You need to define your next level with specific and actionable goals. So if I look at I see on the call, I see Joy. If I look at Joy and I ask you one on one, what are your specific goals? You should be able to tell me, right? I see a David on the call. If I look at David and I said, what are your specific goals? I should be able to hear them. I may not be able to hear all of them because, of course, there's some things you may not want to share, but the ones that you can share, right, for the next person to either collaborate with you, like we mentioned in the last session, partner with you, you should be able to define them. So whatever you're doing right now, if I ask you why are you doing this, you should be able to tell me I'm doing this because it's going to affect this. You have a BSc, why are you having an MSc? Or I'm having an MSc because I want to be able to apply for this kind of jobs, and this kind of jobs will mean more pay. This kind of job will mean more access, right? Why are you doing your MSc? Oh, I need to do my MSc so I can do my PhD. It's a criterion, right? So these are the things that you need to be so clear about. And then there's resilience. Oh, I love resilience so much. I love resilience so much because what resilience does for you is that even if you are self-aware, right, your vision, you're clear on what your vision is, it doesn't automatically mean that you forge ahead. Resilience means you need to develop a mental fortitude to navigate challenges and setbacks, because I guarantee you setbacks will come. I guarantee you challenges will come. So it's not enough that you plan so well. It's not enough that you're handheld, because some of us may be privileged to be handheld into industries. When I started as a programs officer in a nonprofit in 2021, I had no prior experience in the role program officer, but when I was a student, I was organizing programs. Right, when I was in fellowship on campus, a Christian fellowship, I was organizing drama nights, inviting different drama units, different drama groups from different fellowships, and put together events. Right, some people even assumed I was in theater because of how deliberate and intentional I was about it. We moved from there. We started having skill acquisition programs because we felt everybody gets out of school and they want to go and work in the CBNs, because I studied economics, in the CBNs, in the FRS, in the SEC. So who goes out of school to want to create something if everybody's going out to occupy? So I told myself, I want to raise people that will be inhabitants, not be sorry, people that will be builders, not inhabitants. But that took resilience, right? It took resilience, because even when I came into the industry, so I had the idea, I had the passion, I didn't have structure. So I didn't know how to put together a program that I would submit a proposal. I didn't know what proposals for programs were. I didn't know what concept notes were. I didn't know what work plans were at the time. So those things were setbacks, weren't they? I'm sure they were. So, but I needed to what develop the mental for to someone had to hold my hand through the process. It was why I had to I came to this. So very many of us may not have the liberty or the privilege of hand holding. You have to go at it on your own. So before you go, you need to develop that mental fortitude, right? That guarantees that come what may, I don't care what the challenge is, I don't care from whom the challenge is coming from. I'm rest assured that no matter what it is, I will sail through. All right. So I like to use a human factor, someone that we can relate to, right? I want to show you resilience right now. So this lady you see here, her name is Mina Murati, right? Let me just check. How many of us have heard that name before? Mina Murati. So I need a response, whether or not you've heard. You tell me on the comment section, or you can meet me and say, I have not heard about her, or I have heard about her. So just tell me. The name Mina Morati, does it ring a bell to you? If yes, tell us on the comment section. If no, tell us on the comment section. So when I see the responses from there, then I would, move on to tell us who she is and why she's so important to this session we're having today. So tell us, if it's a no, tell us on the comment section. It's a no, I don't know her, but I would love to know who she is. If it's a yes, oh yeah, I think I've seen her face before somewhere, right? Oh, thank you, Christabel. No, you don't. Thank you, the admin. No, you don't. Thank you, George. No, you haven't. Fantastic. All right. So as more responses come in, we'll still look at that. But let's just look at who Mina Murati is. So permit me, I have to move from my slides, right? I didn't want to compare my slide to an Instagram post. So kindly confirm to me that what you're seeing on my screen now is the Instagram post. Thank you. Thank you for that affirmation. All right. So now, most people don't know her name, just like most people don't know her name right now. But Mira Murati is one of the most powerful women in tech, right? Mark Zuckerberg himself tried to steal her entire team. He even offered her 1 billion. He offered $1 billion to one of her engineers, and everyone declined. So you're going to be wondering, what kind of woman is this? And what kind of team did she build that an engineer is rejecting $1 billion just to pledge loyalty to her? So let's just quickly run through who she is. All right. I do hope this opens up because I'm not logged in. All right, fantastic. Now, so she grew up in Albania, not far from Silicon Valley. So she's not a Silicon Valley baby, as people in Nigeria say. She's not a Nepo baby, right? She's a Lapo baby. If you get that, just tell us in the comment section. So she's not a Nepo baby. She is what? In a Lapo baby, right? Thank you. So at 16, she left home to study abroad. What was her goal? To use engineering to change the world. I talked about vision and clarity, right? So she was self-aware that she could change the world, and she had a vision to use engineering to change the world. Do you see that? Right. And then so she left home at 16. So some of us in Nigeria, our parents may not allow us to leave country at 16. They would think that we'll go and we'll go and make a mess of the family or something. Now she earned her degree from Dartmouth and joined Tesla, right? Imagine going for your BS, and after your BSc, you're going straight to Tesla. So she worked on the Model X. She helped shape autopilot. Not bad for a big first gig. This was her very first gig, fresh out of school. But she wasn't done. So we talked about what? Resilience, right? She wasn't done. She had a mental picture of where she wanted to go to. So she stayed on it. Now in 2018, she joined OpenAI, a small lab most people hadn't even heard of at the time in 2018. The team was working on something few believed in: artificial general intelligence, which majority of us are using today. Mira didn't just believe; she helped build the foundation. So, what majority of are using right now in open AI with ChatGPT and the likes, this is the woman behind most of it. She was there on the original team. No, but that's not why we want to know her, right? She led the teams behind Codex, which is the GitHub Copilot. For those of us that work with project management, software engineering, we should know what GitHub is. She worked with DAL-E and she worked with ChatGPT, right? So in 2022, she became the CTO and the most powerful woman in AI. I do wish that every woman on this corner is being inspired. She left at what age? 16. But she had a vision to use engineering to change the world, and she wasn't stopping there. So you could go to Tesla and say, "Oh my God, I've worked with one of the biggest companies in the world, so I should stay there," and that's just about it. But it wasn't the case for her. But power attracts pressure. So in late 2023, Salt Altman was abruptly fired, right? He was the CEO of OpenAI at the time. So OpenAI nearly collapsed, but then she stepped in as interim CEO. Now, this is where resilience comes in, like we talked about. So while chaos swirled around her, she stayed calm. She held the company together. And when Altman, which was the former CEO, returned, she stepped back without complaint because that wasn't what she wanted. She wasn't looking for fame. She wasn't looking for a face. She was just looking to use engineering to change the world. So sometimes the next level in our careers may not be a higher position, it may be a higher impact. So we need to have that at the back of our minds. So, but everyone had seen her leadership, right? So you could tell the difference between when Altman was there and when Mira was there. So in 2024, she quietly left OpenAI because I'm sure there were a lot of things that were going on in the background. People would say, "Oh, you held down the position. Why not bid for it?" And that's not what she wanted. She just wanted to change the world with engineering. So sometimes our goals we have to be clear on the vision. That's vision clarity, right? Something unique. So despite the positions that we find ourselves in, we don't forget the reason why we are there, because that's what keeps you going. So most people had no idea what she was planning. She wasn't done with AI. She just wanted to build it on her own terms. So it wasn't about the position, it was about the vision. So in 2025, she launched Thinking Machines Lab, an AI startup focused on safe, aligned, open models. So she took herself out of all the politics. And guess what? She raised $2 billion out of the gate. And a company that started in 2025, right, already hit a $12 billion valuation. So in a twinkle of an eye, her company became a unicorn. Was she going for money initially? Certainly not. She just wanted to change the world. But now look at her swimming. So if your desire is impact, it drives you to your next level in your career, but it drives you to your next level right at the top. I guarantee you. You don't have to chase the top to be at the top. Chase impact. It will take you to the top. So that's when, all of us know Mark Zuckerberg, he's always in the habit of poaching people. So he made this move. Meta launched a blitz campaign to poach her entire team. Now, because something was formidable, they saw who she was working with and they were still with her. So when she moved out of OpenAI, they moved with her. And then this was where one engineer was offered $1 billion. Some other members of our team were offered $200 million. And guess what? None of them took the money. Why? They believed in Mira's vision more than Meta's cash. I'd end here. Now, what does that tell you? You saw someone that was self-aware. She was so sure at age 16 that when she leaves, she was going to make her mark. You saw someone that had so clear a vision. So when position came, it was not about position. So when the person that was there before she came, she handed over things immediately. That was not her concern. And when she saw politics coming in play, she left. She didn't say, "Oh, open AI is a big deal. I have to stay there and make a name for myself. I have to go down in history," right? She left, and look at her company having a valuation of $12 billion in less than a year. That's revolutionary. Why? Because she said on the onset, "I want to change the world with engineering." So I'm looking at people on the call. I'm going to be asking you, right? What do you want to change the world with? Adams, what do you want to change the world with? Joy, what do you want to change the world with? David, what do you want to change the world with? Obaro, what do you want to change the world with? George, what do you want to change the world with? Christopher, what do you want to change the world with? Because that should be what will drive you to your next levels. It's when you look at this thing. I often tell, because I run a company, Craft and Scale Network, right? And we advise businesses. That's one of the things that we do. And I tell business leaders, what you do for your business is that you have a vision that can be 40, 50 years. That's why I love Jack Ma. He has 100 years vision for Alibaba Group. Right. So you want to have that kind of vision. So you look at the position your company will be in that number of years, in X, Y, Z number of years, and you're telling yourself, what will we have done that would create competency for us at those positions? Nobody will question us. So then you start, retracing your steps back. Oh, I may need to have a degree. Okay, you get a degree. Oh, I may need to connect with AI. Okay, you connect with AI. Oh, I may need to connect. I may need to leave where I am to a different country that has access to these things. Oh, you need to leave. But you have to have seen something first, right? Before you talk about the next levels in your career. I do hope that so far so good we're making sense. Tell me on the comment section if so far so good we're making sense. You're picking out things, you're learning something that is changing your mind already. You're already having a mindset shift. I want to hear at least one comment on the comment section, and then we continue so that I'll be sure we're listening in and we're gaining something. So tell us, are you learning something? And if you want to express, you want to tell us what you've learned, by all means, tell us on the comment section. Thank you very much, George. Oh, fantastic. So thank you, Adams. Oh, fantastic. All right. So let's move on. Now, so skill up, level up, the continuous learning imperative. I'm one person that I'm so given to learning, so given to learning. The fastest way to future-proof your career, right, is to become a perpetual learner. Embrace new technologies, refine existing capabilities, and stay curious. Let me give an example. I naturally will make my slides on my own with PowerPoint, right? And then the time came, then I started getting guidelines. Oh, I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'll tell ChatGPT, this is what I want to talk about. This is the experience I have. Sometimes I'll probably throw in my CV, throw in my portfolio and say, this is what I have done so far. These are some of my experiences, right? Give me a template. Then I would still design it myself. But then I get that, there's so much more value for your time. So I started embracing new technologies, and then I discovered Gamma, right? And then I took to Gamma, I give Gamma a prompt, and when they bring out the slides, I still edit it with my own contents. I put my own images if I don't like the image that they have there. But then it saves me time that I would have lost if I stayed, start thinking, what template would I create? What design, what colors would be appealing? They know what to do because they have this information. So what does it do for me? I embrace new technology, I embrace Gamma, right? I refine existing capabilities, I refine every single thing I do, and I stay curious. I'm always asking questions. So when I make a slide, I'm saying, build up on the last slide I've made. This is what I have done concerning collaboration in the last 4 years. Mix all these things together for me. Give me something to work with. So I identify gaps. What has changed since the last time I talked about next levels in your careers? Let me know. So I pinpoint the skills needed for this desired big project which we're having. And so I'm using this as an example, but the same thing to you, your various career paths. What are the skills that you need, right? You're a graphic designer, you started learning using Corel Draw. Maybe you started using Pixel Lab. Maybe you didn't have a laptop, you started using your phone with Pixel Labs, and then you moved to Corel Draw with your laptop, right? Because Corel Draw is free. And then you move from Corel Draw to Adobe because some Adobe is paid, right? But then you're not stopping there. You're moving to Figma, right? And you're scaling your skills. So you're seeking new knowledge. You're engaging courses because the Figma, the Adobe, the Corel Draw, it's not in your brain. You were not born with it. You learn it. So you engage with courses, you attend workshops. If possible, you enroll for programs, right? Or you self-study. So some of you may not be able to afford some courses, right? For example, I dabble into project management from time to time. And if I want to get a Prince 2 certification, so there's a Prince 3 now, I think, but a Prince 2 certification for project management, it'll cost me between $2,000 to $4,000. Whether or not I have that money, I'm not so sure I want to spend that money on a certificate right now, because I asked myself, what am I going to use this skill for? Sorry. What am I going to use this skill for? I'd ask myself. So if I feel it's going to cost me too much, I'll self-study any day, anytime. And then I move from there. I apply, because sometimes we gather so much knowledge. If I ask every one of us that have what's this learning platform at Udemy account, we'll see so many courses there. We have not opened one or some of them. Some we have opened, we have learned so much. If we check our CVs, we see like a billion certificates. We check our LinkedIn. Oh my God, you keep on swiping page after page. But what have you done with them? So we need to put these new skills into practice. We need to solicit feedback, right? You need to ask questions. Oh, I did the design with Pixel Lab. I'm doing design with Corel Draw. What can you tell is the difference? Don't even tell them what you use to design them. I designed these things on two different platforms. Tell me what you think. And then you would see, right? So you have to continually improve. I work with a graphic designer and I will tell him, this design you did for me, I'm so sure it's Corel Draw. He says Corel Draw. I said, I know. I have a Figma account. I'm not a designer, but from time to time I just go there, check things. Because on days where maybe I'll call my graphic designer is not available, right? And I'm in a fix, I've designed something myself. I design on Canva, right? So, but how did I get better? I started using Canva in 2020. I went for NYC at the time and I met someone in the camp that says, oh, you're a writer? Yes, I'm a writer. How do you do your designs? I said, I just use the WPS Office. I just use those templates. I said, no, try Canva. I learned Canva. I became better in Canva. Now I'm on Figma. Although I don't commit so much time to it, but if I do, I could only imagine how far I will go with that knowledge. So I have to continually improve. Networking and mentorship. I just give an example of being in the camp. So what made someone tell me this is a tool to use as a writer? She found out I was a writer, but how did she find out? We communicated. Your growth accelerators are your networks, your mentors. So your network is your network. I'm sure we've heard this so many times. Connections open doors to opportunities. I guarantee you. Insights and support, right? These are things that come from connections. You can share, oh, this is the project I've worked on. They give you insights. Sometimes if you need support, it may not always be funding. It may be personnel, it may be competence. Some of you are starting companies that you need someone to be on your board of director, but that person has to be competent. They can tell you, oh, the support I'll give to you is that I'll be among your sitting board. So I'm going to bank my 20 years experience on you. So when people go on your website, they don't care whether you have a BS or an MSc. They look at your board and they are seeing Dangote on your board. Who will not want to work with you? You seek mentors. Sometimes you may not have to have close proximity to this, but you may not have access. But learn from those who have walked the path you aspire to. Everybody may not have done the things you want to do, but somebody has attempted it. Find that person. Good enough, we're in a digital era, so you may not have to meet the person physically. You can't find them on the internet. Networking, business cards. It's not business cards, rather. So it's not like you go to an event, you just say, oh, I run a community that we have sessions every now and then, and we train people. We have fantastic people from our community, and then you just drop a card. Sure, just call me, connect with me, right? Nah, it's about building something genuine. One of the things that helped me in programs was collaborations. So I'd go to your platform once I discover you. Once I already have my program plan for the next year, so I know all the speakers I want to work with. I start connecting with you on Instagram or LinkedIn. I start liking your post. I start commenting left and right. And when I build that relationship with you, I'll enter your DM, I'll enter your comments. Sometimes I enter your DMs on your birthday, happy birthday. Or when LinkedIn tells me that you have 1 year anniversary, I compliment you. And so when I come at you and tell you I want to be a speaker, we already have something we're building from. So don't expect that people you meet today will just help you. No, it has to be genuine. And you have to respect relationships. I'm a Christian, but I have friends that I've worked with that are Muslims. So when their holidays come and the celebrations come, I send them messages. Oh, Baraka de Salah. Oh, how do they call it? Eid el Malud, whatever the celebration is, right? I'd even have some time go Google a Muslim prayer and I send to you, right? Just to nurture that relationship. You have a book launch, I show up. You have an event, as far as I'm in that environment, I'll do my best to show up. So it's way beyond just dropping business cards, because cards are like, recharge cards. Look at, how cards are, things wash off eventually. So if there's nothing constantly keeping those persons in your mind, they will wash off. So let's do a case study, right? Because I love us to engage. So Sarah is a creative freelancer turned agency founder, right? Now, for years, this is her saying, I was just a freelance designer, constantly chasing the next gig, right? Which some of us are on this call. So I loved the work, but I craved impact and stability. So you see, she has a vision. What I crave is impact. So I'm asking you, what do you crave? The industry you are in, what are you craving there? If it's money you are craving, it's not bad, but money for what? I often tell people, as much as it's easy for people to castigate salary, salary jobs, or you need to get out of salary space, I've seen salary earners that are multi-millionaires. Why? Because they paved their way from what was paid to them. They made, judicious use of that money and they invested it. So yes, what you crave is money, nothing wrong, right? But if you crave that money, to what end? What's your plan? Are you going to go into real estate? Are you going to go into business? What kind of business? Is it animal husbandry? Is it forest? Is it forest? Is it forage crops you're going to be planting? Is it agriculture as a whole? Is it animal? Whatever it is, just have it, right? Because the next level will always feel like a distant dream if there's nothing on paper. There should be something that you are working with. Now, what did Sarah do? Sarah honed her design skills, right? Sarah honed her design skills, but more importantly, she invested in learning project management and client communication. So she has seen, oh, I want to have impact, right? I want to have stability. What do I need to do? Because it was easier for me being a freelancer, but now I want to be an agency founder. What do people see on my CV before that they will accept me as a designer, but they see on my CV as a founder, they will not take me seriously? You need to ask yourself that question, right? That because people can't read your minds. It's what they see that they will work with. So ask yourself, right? What are these things? What is more important? What am I investing my time in? So what did she do? She also proactively networked. She even started her own local creative meetup. I met someone in Abuja that has a meetup, right? We went for a British Council event. I think that was in 2023. And then she met one of my friends. His name is Gare. He's quite tall. And she said, "Oh, I love your height." Right? We need that kind of manpower in the non-profit space. And he laughed because of course it's not that he's going to carry someone or beat somebody up. But she just teased him and she communicated, "Oh, we have a community. I want you to be a part of it." It's a community of creatives. So in her mind, she has an idea, she knows what she wants to do, but to the rest of us, it's just a community for creatives. And so we'll go there, we'll share our ideas, but she's writing down those ideas and looking for who she's supposed to partner with. So that may be something you may want to do. So a seasoned agency owner became her mentor. You know why I mentioned that you need to connect with someone that has gone where you want to go to or has attempted where you want to go to. So this mentor was guiding her through the complexities of that industry because she had no prior experience there. Guess what? Today, Sarah runs a thriving creative agency. She's employing a team of designers and she's serving major brands. What does her journey show us? Next level often means building your own ladder. So I made mention initially that some of us may have been handheld, but some may not have that privilege. So meaning, people there's this meme that goes around when they ask ladies, "What do you bring to the table?" And some ladies say, "I am the table." Right? Sometimes you have to be the ladder. You have to be the one to create what will take you to your next step because it may not have been offered to you. So become your own table, right? And then bring things to the table. So when other people come, they see those things on the table. Sincerely, it really borders on how far you can see, right? So I don't know what industries you are in. Maybe if you're willing to share on the industry you are in, fantastic, tell us so I can be using your industry as an example going forward. Or if you're in this industry, imagine connecting with this person, with this person. Let me share a story. I don't know how many of us know Niyi Adeshonya. Tell us on the comment section. Dr. Niyi Adeshonya is one of the leadership gurus in Nigeria and across Africa. You can drop on the comment section, "Oh, I know Niyi. Oh, I know Niyi. Oh, I know Niyi." Right? Or if you don't, I'll introduce you to him. Right? Basically on this session, not one-on-one, right? We're not friends. All right, fantastic. Thank you, Adams. Now, Niyi Adeshonya is a good friend of my mentor. I have only seen him on one occasion, and that was in 2021, right? And so he comes to my mentor's event in I think early August and says, "Oh, I have a leadership program coming up, and I'm going to offer a couple of slots to your mentees." I'm not in Lagos; they are in Lagos. And then she reaches out and tells me, "Gary, you have to be in Lagos in November. I have my own event I'm doing. I want you to be there. But then Dr. Niyi's event is coming up, and I'm giving you one of the slots." Guess how much is the ticket to Niyi's event? It's a 2-day boot camp. It's ₦1 million. So what I naturally would spend ₦1 million to gain access to, right? Connection, a relationship. I didn't even ask her. I was on the session when he gave those things, when he said, I'm giving out this amount of tickets, right? But she reached out to me because she knew I would need something from that session. I'm not in Lagos. She would have said, oh no, Lagos, for guy would, think about proximity or transportation, be a lot. But guess what? She reached out. All right. So this is what connections can do for you. So imagine spending that amount of money, pay ₦1 million. It's worth it because Dr. Nia Dictionary is worth listening to, right? It's worth it. But let's see now, I don't get to spend that money. So maybe that money go into logistics and other things. But that's what connections can do for you. Now, so I rush up the slides so we can get to the question and answer segment. All right. Now, leadership beyond titles. You have to cultivate a thriving theme. I often share about this book so much, and I think that the owner of this book needs to pay me some money. I think I've shared about this book even on one of these calls, right? It's called Teamwork by Natalie Dawson. I love the book so much. It talks about how you have a thriving team, how there's an employee life cycle, right? There's from move from onboarding to development to transitioning, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. But what makes your team better? What makes your team like Mira Morati's team that couldn't be poached by $1 billion is by how you cultivate them. And what values, because it's what you have, and I often tell business owners, is the values, the norms that you have as an individual that you breathe into your business, just as in creation, when God created us, he breathed into man. So we breathe into our teams, we breathe into our businesses. So if you don't have values, don't expect your team to have values. So for CEOs, founders, team leaders, reaching the next level means empowering others to reach theirs. If I spend 3 months today grooming a team member to learn Figma, it means that for the next 2-3 years that he or she's going to be with us, we're not going to pay someone to design for us on Figma. Yeah. Or is it Canva? So that money, I probably not even spend money to teach because I'm teaching the person, right? But then this would pay. So one of the things I think about Mira Morati's team is that she has invested in all of them, both intellectually, materially, and otherwise. So they can't even seem to imagine a life without the leadership of that person. She's such a leader. She's such a leader. People like saying we speak into reality. So I'm saying it on this call. I'll get to meet Mira Morati in a couple of years. We'll take a picture and I'll remind her of a session just like this. And I'll probably get the link from the Healers community and share and say, oh, I talked about you on this session. Right. So thank you, Adams, for clapping. So you're taking notice. Adams is my witness, and every other person on this call, they're my witnesses. So when I get to meet her, I will tell her this was something I spoke in the reality because your vision, your leadership inspired me, and I'm sure you inspired the people I spoke to. All right. So what does it mean? True leadership isn't about command and control. Mira said that. Mira lived that. She left the CEO position. She left the company. For her, it was about fostering an environment where talent flourishes. Is why she moved out. She built her own thinking lab, and the lab became valued at $12 billion in less than a year. Empowerment. Delegate meaningfully. I get that you can do it, but if you keep on doing it forever, the next person will not learn it. My team members often tell me, rather than expect us to be proactive, right? Tell me what you want me to do, right? List it out for me. So as often as I do it, when the next event comes up, I will not need to ask you, what am I supposed to do? I will not know what to do. So you have to empower people. Delegate meaningfully. Trust your team. Your team now may not be people you're paying. It could be your friends. You may be a freelancer. Your team is your friend. That person you send your work to, say, look at it before I send it back to the client, and provide autonomy. Give them the ability to give you constructive feedback. Don't let them now tell you what you need to hear. There's development. Invest in training for your team members. I often prioritize competence development trainings. If I want to train a team, I will tell you, rather than just give you business knowledge, we write a business plan for you or we write strategy document for you. We want to train your team so that your team can manage it. So when we come next time, we're not solving problems that novices have. We're solving problems that professionals have. So we do it in a professional way because we are professionals. We're the novices. So invest in training, in mentorship, connect them with different people. I often ask my team members when they come on board, what are your goals? What are your visions? I put them somewhere. So I'm not giving you tasks that are going to take you out of those visions. No. So I clear growth paths for you. If I see that what I'm giving to you is too burdensome, it's not killing your time that naturally would have been spent on your vision, I take it away. One of my team members often says, "Oh, Gary has pursued this person from the team, oh, right?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't pursue her, but I looked at what she was doing currently. She needs to take 2 months. Yes, stay away from our team for 2 months. Go fix this, and come back. We love you. We want your team, but we can't have you do this and do this. Then that of your personal space, right, is being impeded. I want you to learn this skill. Take 2 months, learn this skill. Come back to us." These are the things. Vision sharing. I guarantee you, right? You don't communicate your why to your team in the most compelling of manner, they will not know what to do when they wake up every single morning. They won't have that zeal. They won't have that zeal. So you have to align every individual with their efforts and with the collective goal at the end of the day. So one thing I shared with my team was, as much as we have a vision that everybody can see on the internet, right? Oh, this is the vision of Craft and Scale Network Limited. We have our own internal vision. You can have 4 visions: a vision for finance, a vision for the team, that's operations, right? A vision for if you're doing business, a vision for business, a vision for programs, you're doing programs, right? Then have a vision that the rest of the world could see. So when you are partnering with an organization for programs, they see a vision, you have a vision. When you're partnering for business, they see a vision, you have a vision. And every member of your team knows all these visions, but more importantly, let your why be so simple. Mira's why was so simple. She wanted to change the world with engineering. Simple and short. So she meets you. "I want you to be on my team. What do you want to do?" "I want to change the world with engineering." Okay. Some of us will use big grammar to push to pursue people from joining our team. "I want to be a catalyst of engineering, changing the world and with biotechnology in." Come on. Come on. You're already pursuing me. Communicate your vision in a way that the next person sees it and at a glance, "Oh my God, I want to run with it." Put all the grammar aside. Yes, we know you have a PhD, and so we know you have an MSc. Well done. But don't bombard us. Your vision should not be a thesis. It should not be a dissertation. It should not be a project. It should just be what it is, that the layman can see it and work with it. Right? So now, as much as we've shared this, there's only so much I can share on this session. So I'm going to recommend some books for you that I feel that after this session you're going to build up on. Right? There's Atomic Habits. Right? This is a book by James Clear. So you master the art of building good habits and breaking bad ones. Right? You might have had some good habits, maybe you have had bad ones today. So you want to have that push to break the bad ones and build the good ones. So leading remarkable results in any field at all. Right? I mentioned the book by Natalie Dawson, Teamwork. You want to get that book as well. Right? There's a Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Right? So it's a must read for innovators. You want to be like Mira, you want to innovate, you want to build something from scratch of relevance that impacts and changes the world. Right? Teaching you how to build and scale with continuous innovation and adaptability. You remember I mentioned adaptability on the onset. You want to read Dare to Lead by Brent Brown. You explore the power of vulnerability, because you're sharing your vision with people so that they can take you to the next level of your career. You have to be vulnerable. I have people that send me pitch decks. They are vulnerable because I can carry their pitch deck. They did not send NDA form with me. I can carry your pitch deck and go and pitch on another business. They refurbish what you have done and then I make money. But then it's trust. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be courageous. Some of you have people in your space where they don't even know you are doing this because you cannot even speak to them. You're so afraid. Oh, what if they look at my business plan and it's terrible? What if they look at my idea and it's not making sense? What if they look at my qualifications and they water it down? Nah, be courageous. And empathy is important in modern leadership. You have to think. When a team member I told to take 2 months off was to leave, it was a dent because we were running a training program at the time and she managed the administrative aspect of things. Someone else had to do that. But then I considered where she was, right? She was learning a skill that beyond what we're doing would help her. And she needed all the time she could get. So these things are essential for every leader. So these are just 3 books, right? There are many more. You can go on the internet and check. Right. So now we are coming to the question and answer session. So let's talk. I want to hear from every single one of us. Questions, questions, questions. If you don't ask me questions, I'll ask you questions. So let's hear it. Maybe questions coming from you as a freelancer, as a business owner, as a team leader, as a consigning you want to move to your next level. You want to ask questions. Okay, Adams, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. My question is like this. What do you think? Do you think Mira said to the people working with her for them to actually be able to refuse $1 billion as a salary or $200 million? Sincerely, like, what could she have done? Is it like they are like family members or what?
Uh, I get that. Oh, thank you. Okay, so the truth is, I'm not Mira, but I can assume some things that Mira shared. The very first thing is a compelling why, right? She started with a compelling why, then she showed competence. The truth is, you can't always tell people vision, 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 no execution. So she may have come, yes, I have the vision of using engineering to change the world. And then she shows you her track record when she was in school. Mind you, I didn't tell you what she did in that mode, but you want to research that. She did groundbreaking things in that mode. That's what gained the attention of Tesla. So as much as she shares the vision with her team, the team, they say not be church or church, show workings, right? She had workings. So yes, you start with a compelling why, but your why can only hold them for so long. And even your workings can only hold them for so long. They want to not think legacy. Nobody will stand with you in a business that they have seen you grow open AI to what it is, and not be rest assured that if they stand with you, what is $1 billion that Mark Zuckerberg offered the engineering team? Another thing, she may have given equity to all our engineers. She tells them that, oh, you own 20% of this thing, this company that I'm starting. Now the company is valued at $12 billion in less than a year. You can imagine what that company will be valued at in 5 years from now. Probably almost $100 billion. Do you know what that means for one software engineer compared to $1 billion? Come on. So you start from your compelling why, right? Then you show workings. Then you show workings, show the money. You show the money, you show legacy. That's one of the things that I learned from Natalie Dawson's book. For some time, sometimes some roles are exhausted. There's no promotional strategy in your company. But then you now bring equity. I have a friend that designed, it's called Bubble AI. You want to Google it. Bubble AI is a platform for individuals like creatives that want to get a job, right? Bubble AI, what it does for you, you just come fill your details, fill a form, it creates a CV for you and automatically applies to jobs for you. So when you get a new job opening, you can take it's a link. You copy the link. Once you insert the link in one field in the new job you're applying for, it automatically fills all the fields for you. It fills them up, and you submit. So in less than a minute, it creates a CV and a cover letter for you for that job. That's groundbreaking. What did he tell me? Gary, this is my pitch deck. Right now, I'm not looking for someone that will just give us some money and go. I want to do equity funding. So not just equity funding, you're going to come in maybe as because he has AI and machine learning experience, right? And he's also a software engineer generally. But then he will need QA and QA testers. You need quality assurance, quality control people. He will need UI UX designers. He will need so many other people. So he's not offering those positions in equity. So he's saying, come and work with us. We're going to give you 10% of our company. You can see what the company is all about. So that's another thing. So I'm sure, yes, she mentioned equity too eventually, but look at the pathway. A compelling why. She showed workings, she showed money, she brought legacy by equity. All right. So I see another question from David. How important is emotional intelligence to strategy? Very, very. Let me see if I can give an example. It's very important, very, very important for strategy. Let's see. Let me use the bubble AI as an example, right? When we met at what we call Founders Friday here in Abuja. So he came and pitched his company, and I loved the idea. And then as he was coming out, we looked at each other. He says, "You look familiar." I told him, "You too, you look familiar." And I said, "Have you gone to speak in these places before?" He said, "Maybe." I said, "Mommy, have spoken in this place before." He said he has been in some places like so. Maybe that's where we knew ourselves from, right? And then he shared and he told me, "Gary, I have been working on this project under the works for years." I could have broken down, right? People have told me no. I've met people before. They said, no, AI, I beg. What did he do? He connected with a mentor. what that mentor does for him is this: when he brings an idea and he shares it, the mentor will just look at the document and tell him generic, generic, generic. Do you know how many times he heard generic before the bubble AI that he's working on right now? So whatever you are doing, and this was him as an individual. So imagine he had a team. I had my mentor worked with me before as an executive director. So when she gets information from the board, some things will be depressing to her. She won't tell us. It was when she left that I had to step up to her position. And she says, "Oh, Gary, I've handed over the mountain to you." And I hear how loud the board shouts. And I'm like, "You never told me." She said, "Oh, that she goes to a meeting, she wipes her tears and appears before us strong and mighty." So it's super important for strategy. Super important for strategy, I guarantee you. Whatever steps you want to take, be rest assured. We looked at resilience, right? Looked at resilience. It takes an emotionally intelligent person to have that resolve, because you will define the strategy, but it will not always go as planned. My company people, they know me. I like strategy documents. We have a 5-year strategy document, and I did a 5-year for every single department as well. But we're coming to the end of a year. Did we achieve everything? No. So we'll check what did not work. We'll have what we call a scorecard review. We'll look at what didn't work, right? We tell the teams that didn't do well, you didn't do well. They may feel bad about it, but it's a fact, right? And even us, you may want to go and cry in your house and say, "Oh my God, I've been building this thing for 5 years, but then it's not moving the mark that I wanted to do." But that doesn't stop you from going back. You have to go back to strategy and redo it again. So yes, emotional intelligence, my God, is like one of the most important things. And it's one of the most prevalent soft skill in every industry. So you can go and learn biotechnology and it's not be relevant in agriculture, for example. I'm just giving an example, right? But then emotional intelligence is relevant in every single industry because you're working with people. I don't know if that answers your question, David. I don't know if that answers your question, Adams, as well. So, but yes, emotional intelligence, very important for your strategy. Okay, thank you, Adams. All right, so our time is already fast spent, and so there is a okay. Thank you very much, David. So there is a survey out. As soon as I drop, the admin would relate to us what the survey is for. So tell us about the session, what you learned for the session, what we can improve upon, right? Even as I close. So in the next 2 minutes, I'll be dropping up for the community admin to take over. So your next level awaits. I've shown you Mira. We've talked about so many other people. Do you know that Jack Ma, when he started, right? Many people did not believe in him. He had to gather a few friends. And then this one thing Jack Ma always says, I love so much. People look at him and say, your company has established has achieved a lot. He said, we haven't achieved anything because his company has a 100-year goal. So if it's 20 years compared to 100 years, that's a 20 over 100. Is that a pass in any exam? No. You look at 70, 80, that's an A. So that's what his target is. So until he gets to 80 years, standing firm as a Alibaba group, for him, they have not achieved anything. So dare to grow. Don't be complacent. Don't be so comfortable in where you are. Oh, yes, you applied one new strategy now, so you're in the next level. You got promoted last month. Start thinking of what would guarantee your next promotion, what to qualify you rather for your next promotion. So you warranty proof this current promotion so they don't kick you under, right? And then you move for the next. So the path to the next level isn't always easy. I would never lie to you, but it's incredibly rewarding. Look at Mira. It was not easy. Our friends may have always started calling her a CEO, made a clear for CEO. She was at the top of Open AI, and then she had to step down. She came down. And then people may have been saying, "How you ran that position so well, right? Why not make a bid for the crown?" She left, but look at how rewarding it is for her now. So embrace continuous learning like she did, build powerful connections like she did, and always lead with purpose like she did. She told herself, I want to use engineering to change the world. When she was going to school, I'm sure there were some courses that were difficult for her in the university. She says, no, I would find a way around this course because I want to use engineering to change the world. She may have got into Tesla, right? She may have fought some challenges that she says, I cannot stop in Tesla because I want to use the engineering to change the world. So your potential are limitless. Take action now. Identify one skill you develop this quarter or reach out to one person in your network today. Small steps lead to giant leaps. Thank you very much.
All right, all right. Thank you, Mr. Gary. Appreciate all of the knowledge, and you can see from the reactions too that people really um, got something from the session. So, thanks once again. And I don't know if anyone has any other questions before we sign off.
Okay, I think I see one question from Anita. I want to know, how did you manage rejections and setbacks? Well, I'm not one that takes no for an answer, right? But then what makes you manage a rejection is if you see what the rejection was given for the first reason. Most times when people tell us no, we just feel they don't like us. Move from there. Be reasonable. Put yourself in their shoes. What is in me that would say no to me? Right? Do a self-evaluation. So that's how I manage it. I always self-evaluate. My friends will always tell me, Guy, the fact that you're saying this thing is because you thought about this. I say, yes. When I look at something not making sense in my life, I take a pause. I reflect on it. Right? Sometimes I call people. So you want to have a company too. We talked about connections, networking, mentors. You want to have those people around, because sometimes not every day that you can show up strong. I'm not going to lie to you. That days that maybe I feel so down about something, you call people. That's where vulnerability comes in, because they may have seen you as always strong, but you need to show up one day as weak so they can make you strong. So connections, right? Networks, and then resilience. So where resilience fail, connections will not fail. Where connections and resilience fail, right? Your mentors will not fail you, because they will pull you out. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Fantastic answer to a great question. So the Halos residency is still on. We have another session starting in a minute. Just I've dropped the link in the chat if everyone wants to learn about Canva. It would be a great session as well. Thank you once again, Mr. Gary, and see you next time.
All right. All right. Thank you everyone for joining in. I do hope that you make the most of everything that's been shared, the books, the recommendations, and you can easily connect to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and I can provide answers to any other questions you have. Until next time, this is us done. Bye everyone. Have a phenomenal weekend ahead.
Thanks.